Hi, and welcome to another episode of Cafe Chronicles. I'm Steve.
I'm Dan.
And on today's episode, we're going to have another look at the seat. We're still on the seat. We're just not finished it yet, but we're going to keep at it. Today, we're going to have a look at boring our holes into the top of the fiberglass seat pan so that we can mount it to that latching mechanism we have underneath and everything. And also, Dan's got some foam.
Yeah, so we're going to put the foam on the seat. We're going to start sculpting it, and we're going to see if we can't make this start looking like a cafe racer.
If we're not careful, it will. So let's get stuck in.
This, we had to load it up in Sharpie. So what we came up with is this template here. We'll actually use this program, the second line of code here.
I don't think anybody's buying this program, go on.
And this we will drag along and have the right size that we need at the bottom. And then up at the top, we have this line of code here that will give us the right line that we need on the back.
I'm going to translate that into Cafe Chronicles. We're too cheap to buy a scribe, so we made one. It's when we say cutting edge, we're actually just cutting the edge of cardboard and drawing on it.
It's the scissored edge. The scissored edge of software modeling.
Alright, so Dan ordered the
tail light.
We're gonna see. I didn't get to see the final one that Dan chose.
I didn't consult Steve. He was out of the loop on this one, so it's going to be a surprise to him as well as me because I rock, paper, scissored and just sort of blindly chose.
We're all counting on you, Dan.
I am counting on Lady Luck.
So this is from Amazon.
This is from Amazon.
How much, Dan? I'll put the how much Dan paid for it up on the screen. Also, you'll see what the whole total of the build is as it stands. Drum roll, please. Ha! It's the very same one as mine.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
I thought you were joking. I thought you knew.
No, I didn't.
No? Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
Cool. Nice. I like the style though.
It suits the era.
Yeah, I like it. No, you know what?
That's such an ugly tail light.
The quality on this is decent. The only thing I didn't like about it was an incandescent bulb. Not the end of the world. Yeah, no, it's perfect for a cafe budget build.
Rubber damper. I was doing some research into foam and I saw a couple of videos online where people were using some black stuff and I wasn't sure what it was. There's a couple of instructional articles out there that help you guide the foam choice that you're looking for depending on the thickness of the seat. They told you what the weight was, and of course I went on to Trusty McMaster Car and found this. It was recommended for seats for around an inch or so thickness. This may be a little bit thicker, but it'll have the support of a thinner seat. So this is actually a closed cell foam, which the difference between closed cell and open cell is that closed cell responds a lot better to water. Assuming that our threading is probably not going to be as waterproof as we'd like on the cover, if I do get caught in the rain, the seat's a lot less likely to get waterlogged with this kind of foam as opposed to open cell foam.
You're like you guys at
Okay.
Caesar's Pizza, Little Caesar's Pizza.
Yeah. Get your motorcycle seat. Want to get a motorcycle seat? All right, so this is 3M Super 77. This is not sponsored by 3M. 3M sponsor us.
Okay, so we're high on glue, so don't pay any attention to what we're about to say.
Yeah, I mean, we wanted to accomplish a little bit more. What we ran into was that the glue, it said it's set in about 15 seconds, and we can't attribute it to the temperature in the garage. When you're gluing foam on foam with all the porous surfaces and everything else, it takes a little bit more effort to stick it together. And so where we wanted to shape the cowl and everything else, we thought just to make sure that that foam doesn't move, we'll give it a little bit extra time before we start actually sculpting it, because the last thing that you want is for it to move, and then you take off too much material and you have to start over. Hopefully that glue will set the way that we want it to after leaving it overnight.
Keep your fingers crossed at home there. Between the epoxy, I don't know how your fingers aren't stuck together, and this glue, the two of us are like going around like, you know, trying not to touch things. Like. But it kind of sets us up so that next time we can sculpt it a little bit. Hopefully, once we've sculpted it, we can actually start laying out some of the nice leather that Dan's got on order. Tonight, while we were kind of laying out these things, we talked a little bit about the design. We'll talk about it more over the coming days and that. I think we've got a little bit of a plan. Who knows what it's going to look like. It's our first time, but the reason why we did this whole kind of almost like two pans, one is for the seat latching mechanism and the other then is going to be a part of the seat. So we're actually going to glue the foam to it and stitch the leather on there and everything if the glue holds. And because of that, the good thing is that at any stage, if we're looking at this, if Dan's looking at this in like a year's time and he's like, oh man, that seat, what a monstrosity, I know I can do a better job now on the upholstery, we can redo it. You know, that's the good thing about having it as two separate pieces.
Now the problem is we can't order any sort of internet seats to replace it, because with those seats they fit a certain template that you would typically set your bike up to, and then if you have your bike set up to those custom templates, then you can order any kind of internet seat. So anything that we end up with will have to be custom, but in that regard, that's why we are going to have a separate fiberglass versus metal pan, as Steve said. If we change the style, if I want brown leather, if I want to refoam it, if anything else, that we do have that option to take it apart and redo it, because we won't have the option of replacing it with something purchased without chopping up and re-welding the frame.
If you take a look back at the first season of Cafe Chronicles, you'll see that was the CB750 build. I did exactly what Dan mentioned there, where I bought the seat I wanted and then I customized the frame to suit that. And then once everything was great, like exactly where I wanted, I welded it in place, sandblasted it, powder coated it. Now, the only thing is I never got to have a go at actually making the seat. Plus, the seat cost about $500-600 by the time you factor in shipping and blah blah blah. This is a cafe budget build. The idea is that 1, we learn the skills. 2, we save money, and we do it in a way that we can enjoy a nice, cool cafe racer that's safe, that we like to look at, but as well as that we actually experience building. Thanks a lot for checking the video out. I hope you guys are enjoying it. If you guys are enjoying it at this stage, please hit that subscribe button. It helps us. Hit the like button. It lets us know that you're watching. And on top of that too, Dan's put together a really nice list of all the parts that we're looking at buying, that we have bought already. Take a look at that, it's in the description. If there's anything you see on there that you think we shouldn't be buying, let us know in the comments. If you've got another alternative or something that you think we should buy instead, we'd love to know. Alright, so thanks a lot for tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to like, and stay safe.